So today we're going over why not to pre-order video games. And the short answer is because you don't know if the game developers are prioritizing a quality game or just prioritizing straight up sales. So let's go into one example, Fallout 76.
June 2018. It began with everyone getting just a little hyped up.
Have we waited long enough, guys?
Oh god, yes we have,
The
Todd!
CEO.
Fallout 76, Bethesda's biggest game yet. My god, it was exciting. And they promised we'd know more at E3. E3 hype time.
I'm sure someone
The
will
press
correct us
conference.
in the comments.
16 times the detail.
That's a game
16
conference.
times the detail.
Oh, where they talk about like the
All new rendering,
They introduce,
lighting, and landscape technology.
Or announce games.
4 times the map
It is
size.
4 times the size of Fallout 4. And it's our biggest one yet.
My god, it was exciting. November 14th, 2018. The game goes live with a day one patch of 50 gigabytes.
My god.
For fuck's sake. I'll see you tomorrow.
But once that's downloaded,
get it?
people start logging into the hellscape that is Fallout 76.
I wanted to.
And
It looks cool.
Oh dear lord, they never fix the bugs. And there are so many of them. Goodbye world, goodbye necks, goodbye body,
Yeah.
goodbye heads, bugs everywhere. Server crashes, game crashes, old bugs import Fallout 4. Use more than one nuke at a time, servers dead. Text is far
People.
too texturous
And
and
mutants.
all-consuming void. Error log 307.
But people,
Can't pick
not
up
aliens.
stuff, can't stop asserting dominance with a T-pose, frame rate problems, screen tear problems, getting too swole, getting underneath the map, getting attacked by invisible enemies, spawning too many enemies,
Kind of speaks for itself.
spawning too many god rays. Also, your camp resets after every session, and sometimes it goes underwater. Holotapes randomly play static, but too many holotapes mean none of them will play. Enemy AI is far more A than I. Animations are broken. Surprise! Floating objects and a traveling merchant. Just to name a few. Joseph Anson has a great video that documents just the ones that he found personally. That video is 3 hours long, and the YouTube community had this to say.
It's really fucking boring.
Is it like okay? Cause so the only game I've really played was the one we
Last of Us 2.
Last of Us. I mean, I didn't really play, but watch it. So is it like one of those where it
kinda
goes from beginning to end? You have a.
It's not. It's
'Cause I would have been so mad if every time you're about to try to get to checkpoints.
It's more like open world RPG, but that is what it's doing. It's like you still have things that
still
you
that
want to
frustrating.
accomplish, and you
Yeah.
can't. Like I tried to
I would
play
have quit.
some of the other titles, Fallout New Vegas. I think Fallout, like, it takes place after like a nuclear explosion,
Fallout,
and so everyone's like
yeah.
kind of surviving in the post world. And so they've made other titles that have been really successful, and so this was just their first attempt at like a multiplayer title.
Okay,
And it
so
just
I don't
had-
play games, but I could see all those glitches that were.
Yeah,
like,
so let's
"What?
say these are from actual YouTube reviewers.
They didn't remove. Like, are you sure they didn't accidentally let a draft out?
I know,
instead
right?
of
It was that bad. And let's see what the actual people who played the game thought.
like that's expensive.
Could barely bring myself to play it in order to finish this review.
No one on staff wants to play any more of this video game. I'm not going to subject myself to another 20, 30 hours of this fucking mess.
In short, Fallout 76 is morally, technically, and creatively bankrupt.
So what happened? Well, it came out that development was hugely rushed. The deadlines were tight. Too tight. Plus, this wasn't Bethesda's A-team. It's actually a relatively inexperienced division based in Austin, and the scope of the game kept getting bigger.
We're gonna need distant weather systems.
Hey Todd, I stayed up all night and I just
We're
finished.
gonna need 16 times the detail.
Please, Todd, no
We're
more.
gonna need 4 times the size of Fallout 4.
That, and they were trying to patchwork the old Bethesda creation engine into a multiplayer framework.
I think anytime your management doesn't really understand like the technology and how long it takes to like create, and they're just focused on a deadline, you're gonna get what I think what you're describing is an unfinished game. You're like, did they release the wrong one? No, that's just how far
Yeah,
they
didn't
got.
work out all the bugs.
Yeah, no, they just got that far, and they have to release.
Yeah, it
you
was
know.
like a deadline. I
Yeah.
think they were betting on being able to update it
And
in
so
time to be able to keep the players playing.
this is another thing. This is their engine that like runs the game, and this is meant to be like a single player engine. All of the games have been single player, and they're trying to patch that into like a multiplayer framework. So, we don't understand software that well, so I assume it's like trying to convert a motorcycle into a bus. It must be really difficult, and I think that's why there's a lot of bugs, because something that was meant for one person is now supposed to be meant for multiple people and players at the same time.
Yeah.
So let's keep watching.
What else could you expect?
That's why I give my kids
Fallout 76.
the food.
You know what?
Bethesda could tolerate
sorry.
them.
I think they probably thought, since it was a whole thing we talked about earlier about the cats, like after you have one, it's easier to add two. But in this case, it wasn't so easy just to make, because this isn't the first Fallout.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So they thought it was going to be easy to hand it off to a team who can just do the upgrades.
Yeah, so this
not
is
realizing how many bugs that would come out with that they have to work out.
Yeah. And so, speaking of bugs, let's take a look at the exploits. How are people exploiting this game on multiplayer, which is even more, you're playing with other people, so it's easier to cheat if you can exploit the game.
Bethesda could tolerate the bugs and the bad reviews and the irate players, but what they couldn't tolerate were the exploits. Infinite inventory, infinite invisibility. The frame rate was tied to the game speed, so people were going a lot faster than they should. Server hopping for more items, infinite cache and infinite duplication, unlimited XP, unlimited nuking. The nuclear codes were unencrypted and you could wall clip into the quest room. And someone was given the curse of infinite invincibility. Naturally, this can really mess with other players' online experience. So Bethesda was ready, with the ban hammer
This just
and a blindfold to wildly flail around and take down anyone who happened by. One more exploit. In all the Bethesda games, there's a dev room. Every item in the game is kept here. Security has to be top-notch, because otherwise, someone could just waltz in and take all of the best items in the game, and it would be an absolute disaster.
Like a fault.
Well,
a vault.
Of course, Bethesda wasn't equipped to deal with the issue. People started flooding in, taking the best items in the game, then selling those items on a black market of sorts. At first, they tried the usual approach, banning people who had some of the best items in the game. You spent 700 hours just to get the best gun? Die, cheater. Next, they put in a system where players would get tagged if they ever entered the room, and they banned those players. That wasn't much better, because people would just start using Smurf accounts. Get in quick with a level 1 account. Get all that good shit. Then get the fuck out. Then use a duplication glitch to get a ton more of those items. Then transfer that stuff to your main account, and you're good to go. Bethesda then takes out this level 1 and calls it mission accomplished. And you've just beaten the game.
So I think what this outlines,
Game economics.
yeah, is that people like managers that don't understand like software engineers or like how software works. Like one, they're gonna release a super buggy game that's like too early because they don't understand like the deadline. They just maybe they understand like the hot keywords like multiplayer and like weather systems and like 16 times bigger, but they don't actually understand the engineering and the time it takes to create those things well, right? That's why they release such a buggy game. And then on the flip side, they don't understand how exploitable their game becomes when it's released that buggy. And so it's like they're suffering two ways by releasing like a compromised product simply because they don't understand software.
Yeah, but did they I think
I think as software grows and becomes more, like you can put like more complicated weather systems in the game. It's like they don't understand.
What I'm saying. The upgrades that the developers were forced to do. Also, they weren't I don't know that they were, because it was a B team or whatever. I think they weren't there originally to make it, to be able to give solid answers on how much it would take to do something like that, or how
right.
How,
No, yeah, that's like there's a breakdown in understanding what it takes to actually accomplish these things.
So they're given the reins over to the marketing team, sales numbers team, and so they're the ones running the horse wild.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's see. This video gets into that.
These things get made, and then when it's selling out and they're doing well, that's when the sales team usually gets added on. But then once
So yeah, when
this
the
weird
sales
shit.
team overtakes good engineering for like software,
And product design, it's like you're
Yes.
not the one designing the product.
that's
so
when you get a compromised product. Okay, let's keep going with this video.
The
Sales,
figures
yes.
show 76 sold less than a sixth of what Fallout.
Okay, so these are their previous titles:
What?
Fallout
They
4,
had so
Fallout
many.
3, New Vegas, and then
Going
76.
in the wrong direction, guys.
Yeah. And it's like, what's going on here? Why would you release such a crap product?
4 did. Not good. There's also been a massive oversupply of hard copies. Although, what's the point of a hard copy when the thing is just a cardboard disc telling you to redeem an online code? And while sales are low, returns are high. Immediately upon release, people began asking Bethesda for a refund. 76 is not on Steam, it's on Bethesda's own platform, so they have all the control. If players only played the game for a few hours, then generally they'd get their money back. However, it came out that people were sometimes getting refunds after a full 24 hours of play.
When you really know it's crap.
But then
after
word about this
24
spread to
hours.
They
forums.
gave it a long
Then to
time.
Reddit, and a post got 12,500 upvotes informing people that this made pretty much everyone eligible for a refund, and the comments told them exactly how to do it. Bethesda was flooded with requests for refunds.
Oh no.
And their response?
Go there.
Shut it down, lads.
Craig Robinson.
No one gets a refund now. Everyone go home. Show's over. Robot customer service man engage.
Customers who have downloaded the game are not eligible for a refund. We apologize for the inconvenience. Die.
Their inconsistent refund policy and terms of service may not be strictly legal. November 27th, 2018. Miglatio and Rathod LLP filed a class action suit on behalf of customers. Media quickly picked up on that. Their main argument is that it's a sometimes unplayable game owing to its technical problems, then they're refusing refunds, and that Bethesda is engaged in a strategy to release it anyway and then slowly patch their way into a more playable state. Let's get back to the game. December 2018. The bad. A whole bunch of unannounced stealth nerfs. They generally made the game grindier. Ammo production was decreased.
Okay, so nerfs mean things that get worsened. Grindier means you have to work harder to like get stuff.
Grindier.
Oh, okay.
Ammo
So it wasn't,
production.
you couldn't just raid a vault.
No, like you'd have to raid more vaults to get the same amount after the patch.
Production was decreased. Fusion cores burnt out faster. Legendary enemies spawned less
Everything got
frequently.
limited.
Yeah, so when
Extremely limited.
when they say ammo production got decreased, means like you have to go scavenge. Like it takes a longer time to like find more ammo. When they say legendaries, like the amount of legendaries that legendary enemies that you would run into decrease, that means like you don't get to pick up like the great loot as often. And like fusion cores, like burning out faster. Like you have to go get more fusion cores more often. And so it's like, why did they make this patch? It's all to make more money.
I'll fuck you up.
And the backlash was significant because everybody knew why Bethesda was doing it. To encourage people to use the Atomic Shop. Let's rewind a little bit. Fallout fans...
Okay, so if you didn't catch that, before we get into the duffel kerfuffle, the Atomic Shop
They
is like...
spend money.
Yeah.
Real money.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, my fusion cores ran out, gotta go get another fusion core. Or like I'm not getting this loot, so might as well spend money to like get, It's like they made that patch specifically so people would have to go to the Atomic Shop if they wanted to get things in like a timely manner. Okay. So the duffel kerfuffle. Another yet example, it doesn't just have to be video games. These companies, they're just out for your money.
Well,
Let's rewind
that's
a
what the company does. They want you to buy their products.
No, I know, but it's like fans who want to support them, they should understand maybe
The value of the product
so
that
these
they should have been producing.
right. So these are two examples of like a bait and switch that happens that they did. And so let's take a look at the first one, duffel kerfuffle. And a bait and switch, if you guys don't know, is you're promised one thing, and then when it comes time to deliver, you switch it out for another.
Fallout fans made their pre-orders, and the most dedicated pre-ordered the Power Armor Edition. Wow.
It's huge.
It came with a helmet, box, map, army toys, and a genuine West Tech canvas bag.
Wait. Army toys?
Fast forward to the release. And customers noticed that their precious bags, which are supposed to be made of the finest canvas in the land, look a bit different. In fact, it looks like a carry bag the real bag should come in.
It's like nylon.
Did they really just advertise one thing and deliver another? You can't do
And
that.
if you guys don't know, like a canvas bag is a lot sturdier.
It's heavier.
Yeah, you can put more stuff in it. It can support more weight. A nylon bag like that.
Hard to tear.
Yeah, it's like I wouldn't even want to put like too many books in the bag that came in because like I feel like it's gonna tear through.
It's like the 10-cent plastic bags.
So there was a surge of backlash, and people began emailing Bethesda, asking for refunds, asking for answers. By this point, customer service is absolutely over it. They are done with the facade, and they send this email in response.
Hello. We are sorry that you aren't happy with the bag. The bag shown in the media was a prototype and was too expensive to make. We aren't planning on doing anything about it.
That's the whole email. Staff at Bethesda aren't even hiding their contempt anymore. Naturally, the internet goes wild.
Are you fucking kidding me? Wow. Wow. Well, I got so mad, I shaved everything off my face.
Okay, guys, this is a bit of a PR nightmare. We have to quell the outrage. What do we do? Well, we've got this in-game currency. Let's just give them the minimum amount of that. Fantastic idea. Hear ye, hear ye. Anyone who paid $200 to $300 for the Power Armor Edition is hereby entitled to $5 worth of in-game currency that you'll be able to spend with us. 500 atoms? Fuck
When
yeah!
did they make this?
What are you gonna do with your atoms? I'm gonna buy 5/18ths of the white paint version of the Power Armor. Whoa! What about you? Lightwood laminate, lightwood laminate, lightwood laminate. Fuck the bag! He's right! Fuck the bag! Lightwood laminate, lightwood laminate, lightwood laminate, lightwood laminate, lightwood. Of course, this was Bethesda's fantasy of what would happen. What really happened is further outrage, and even the media started piling on. Bethesda put out a tweet apologizing for their curt customer service and gave a different excuse for why they didn't make the bags. A shortage of material, apparently. That was quickly debunked. Because it turns out they did make the canvas bag, except they gave them all out to influencers. Oh dear. It's not the same one, of course, but it's sourced from that ever-scarce material, canvas. But what's more amusing is that it turns out there is a canvas bag in the game. If you don the postman's outfit, which of course can be found at the Atom Shop, for 700 atoms. Ooh, just short. Well, the bleating from the online community continued, and Bethesda's lawyers realized there would be trouble, so they decided to capitulate. Alright, fine. We'll make you a precious fucking bag. If you want to claim it, you'll have to fill out this form with your name, personal details, address, etc., etc. And we'll ship out the bag to you in 4 to 6 months. But it doesn't quite end there. Because Bethesda is known for bugs, and of course their website is a buggy mess too. Turns out all of the customer support inquiries are unsecure and open to the public. In fact, people can open and close and change them at will. Listed are details of full legal names, phone numbers, home addresses, and more. If you've requested your canvas bag, you've just been doxxed.
Oh my god.
Not knowing how to immediately fix the problem, Bethesda panics and temporarily shuts down the whole website. And that is the tale of the duffel kerfuffle.
Okay, so you asked, this video came
Wow,
out
well,
like a
what's
year
worse?
ago.
A gaming company doing that to you, or a company in charge of your credit doing that?
But that's a weird question. It's like, why would they give canvas bags to influencers and not to people who spent so much money on it? And the answer is because those people already spent money on it. It's like, they don't care about them. They already spent their money. It's like, we need to send the nice canvas bags to influencers to help us sell more of these games.
To advertise.
Yeah.
It's usually sales and marketers are like.
Yeah, so no, that's the thing. It's like, if you pre-order,
They have weekly meetings.
they already have your money. And so it's like, they don't care about you as a customer anymore. You're already
New money.
Yeah. And so your money is going to be spent to make
You're
new
already
sales.
in the game. You just need to buy stuff in the game. So they offer it in the game, and you can pay a little more and get the real stuff.
Right, but no, but that's the thing. It's
what?
like when you pre-order a game, you're not guaranteeing that you get 100% of the game because the game hasn't been
there's
released
glitches.
yet. And so you might be contributing to like marketing or like, you're not buying the game. Once a game comes out, you're buying the game and you know exactly what you're getting. But when you pre-order a game, it's a little more ambiguous how that money is being spent. Okay, one more example and
How could this have been so difficult? They made one for New Vegas. One last piece of
another game.
A rum drink. Nuka-Cola Dark. Pre-orders available in September. Shipped out on November 14th. $80 plus postage and handling.
$80?
Not cheap. But in return, you got a very cool bootle. Looks good on the shelf. A great conversation piece with the family over Thanksgiving. Or at least it would have been. November 14th came and went, and there was no rum. Okay. A week later on November 21st, an email comes through.
Yeah, are they allowed to sell?
There's a delay. Things aren't up to the usual Fallout standard, they say.
It's that bad, huh?
The usual Fallout standard. All of this just works. Things aren't up to the usual Fallout standard. So we'll have it for you soon. No specific date given.
1 week later.
Nothing. Then on December 5th, another email. Good news. We start shipping on December 12th. It's been nearly 3 months since you pre-ordered, but as a show of good faith, we made this promotional video for you. And this is where things went from tardy to retardy. Right there. Did you catch that? That's just a regular industry bottle and a plastic shell. We paid $80 and waited a quarter of a year for a plastic shell? People were not happy. Look at that ratio. Nothing in the marketing said that it was a plastic shell. Super premium, we were promised. And the media agreed.
Uh-oh. Because none of them bought it.
People began cancelling their orders. Silver Screen tries to convince people that it's not cheap and shitty. It actually cost us twice as much to make the plastic one than the glass one.
Then why don't you just make a glass one?
Yeah,
What
why
the
would you do
fuck?
that then?
We spent 100 hours coding the design. Convincing stuff. So it arrives, just a few days before Christmas.
that was.
The rum is about the quality you'd expect.
Can I swear on this?
Fine,
It's my
bro.
own show.
Worse is the design. The oversized lip means the liquid can pour inside the shell.
Lame.
Because how they made this damn thing. Spilled like half the shot.
Very dribbly.
So you're best off opening the whole thing up to prevent spilling.
Or just
If you
pour it
do
all
that,
out.
there's a good chance that you'll snap the flimsy plastic. Any liquid will immediately ruin this
It's
cheap
like-
paper sticker.
Yeah.
So I made their own at home, and the quality was about on par.
80
But look, if you
bucks?
do want a decent version of this product, there are reputable sellers of them. They're on Etsy. They're far cheaper, and they actually give a shit.
Yeah, they care
Not
about
gonna
the
lie
products.
though, some of the memes that came out of this were pretty good. Now, many claim that this was an honest mistake.
Sorry.
Or that customers were at fault for misinterpreting ambiguous marketing. I disagree. All of the marketing shows other glass items. All of the mock-ups show something more akin to frosted glass than plastic. They give plenty of descriptions of the product too, and not once do they mention plastic. And they were engaged in a bunch of other tomfuckery as well. Before the product was even available, they flooded their own product reviews with a bunch of 5 stars.
What?
This raised some eyebrows, and people on Reddit even called them out for it.
Yeah.
So
Or
they
even
deleted
shift.
them. You can see all this activity on the Wayback Machine. Now, if they're happy to deceive people in this way, it seems silly to give them the benefit of the doubt about the glass. And what the fuck? They made the bottle properly. Yeah, one of those, please, but bigger and brown. Is that so hard?
You know, I don't think they got enough pre-orders to get to make the mold for the bigger one.
Maybe the glass one.
Yeah.
Then why would they lie about it being twice as expensive?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think they planned on doing this, but they didn't get enough pre-orders, so they're like, "What's our next option?" They're like, "Just print the mold and then put like a regular glass bottle in it." Because I think the reason they're able to do this one is because it's smaller and they already have the mold for it, and they make a bunch of these. But to make a bigger one, it's like they need to pay for the bigger glass mold, right? And it's probably expensive. I don't know. Whatever.
Just they took the lowest bidder. They ran out of time. Took the next lowest bidder.
The point is,
plastic.
if you're gonna pre-order, be really careful because you even from a big gaming studio that makes hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue a year.
Was it not $2 billion?
No, that was Rockstar. This is Bethesda. I'm not sure. We couldn't find it.
Goes to Paramount. If we're talking about like movies. how much.
Yeah, maybe. We should have looked it up. Anyways, yeah. So be careful when you pre-order stuff. I mean, I'm sure there are some good pre-orders, but it is a bit of a gamble because you're not actually buying a product. You're giving them money for a delivered product, but you're not exactly sure how that money's going to be spent.
But that's the thing. They can't falsely advertise. That's what they were saying. Like you're falsely advertising.
The
because,
canvas
like you
bag
said,
one
bait
for
and
sure.
switch, that's not legal.
Yes,
that's not allowed when you sell products. And I think once you get stuff involved that even if it's like free or an add-on, you gotta still. Oh, and the whole game itself is the actual product, and they like skimped on that. All of this are like band-aids.
And Microsoft recently bought them, so I wonder if management is going to get better there. We'll see.
Then was this all a ploy to just get their valuation down so Microsoft can get them up for a fat?
No one wants to push their valuation down so they can get purchased. If anything, you want to.
Microsoft was the buyer.
They're not gonna make them release a shitty game.
And then come in
and release all this
release
stuff.
A better one. I'd be like, sorry, we're under new management.
So you think Microsoft sabotaged
product.
them? That's funny.
I don't
Maybe.
know.
I don't know. I don't think Microsoft has to do.
I
maybe.
guess I listen to too many. I don't believe them of those conspiracy theories. I'm like, why do I see Bill Gates' face on random things, and then I hear the conspiracy theories, and I'm like, oh, what? That is so weird. So maybe
people are nuts. But
maybe
I guess
it is influencing me because I'm like, oh, he must be trying to gobble up something.
like Steven Spielberg. I'm just kidding. I don't think he eats babies. All right. I mean, Bill Gates. Steven Spielberg. I think he might. All right, guys. We hope you like this episode. Remember to smoke your coronavirus infection prevention medicine
Not
if you
yet
don't have.
Nuka-Cola.
Yeah. Soon we'll be.
Pre-order our weed though.
We'll be sending we'll have our CBD store up, and you'll be able to get it direct from us. And we won't bait and switch you because we're not Bethesda. We're the Besta. Haha. Okay.
Dark.
If you don't have buds, we're your buds. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.